Hey there, and welcome to Cosmic Sage. I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to check in on how your neighbors are talking about you or thinking of you. And I'm going to do it according to signs instead of relying on the dice because it's kind of timely. We're going to go ahead and just go through the order of the zodiac. And this is collective. After we do the collective, we will answer questions. There's going to be two. There's also what is a good Dharma coming my way unless it gets outvoted. Now, I'm going to let you all know that you can vote if you have not yet over in the community. If you haven't subscribed, please do. There are a lot of good things in store if you are subscribed, because sometimes the doors are open and sometimes they aren't. If need be, I will shut them. But if everyone's good to everybody here, there's no need for that. At this time, it doesn't look like there will be any need for that. We'll figure that out. So let me know. Keep me in the loop, okay? Get my attention if I need to pay attention to something. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I think I said part of that already, but I do appreciate all your support. There is still, for some of you that are OGs, a special place that used to be Bunny Blades. Go check it out. It is getting back into the rhythm. Lucky Girl has plans for a reading or two coming, and the Ninth Door Tarot has been revamped. It's an adult theme reading location now. If you like to go there and check that out, that would be great too. But welcome, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And we're going to find out what is it that the neighbors think or say about the Aries people. This is any placement. You can just listen to any signs you feel apply to you based on your chart. Hello, Cherry. Hello, Suits. Hello, Delaney. How is everyone doing? I wonder if I should put a poll. I don't think it's going to let me now. It did offer, well, maybe it will. Yeah, it will. Okay, I'm going to make a poll real quick. What in the heck am I thinking here? You already voted. Okay, so there's some people that didn't that might trickle in here. I'm trying to think of a poll to put out in here for fun. Okay, so okay, now we have a poll here. So if you want to just put your input, it's pretty much, I can't tell who is who, so you don't have to be seen. We won't know who you are. Okay, so for Aries, what do their neighbors say or think of them? Can we get an idea of what the neighbors currently of Aries thinks or is saying to others about Aries, please? Okay, we got Temperance in reverse, Ten of Swords. So if you, Aries, have been through something and it was a big betrayal, you are taking your time at healing and recovering from something. It's been like a lengthy time. You are still in the feeling of disappointment of something that was a big betrayal. Somebody they recognize has betrayed you, or they witnessed something, and it wasn't about love. Okay, so the King of Cups. So somehow your heart, I'm kind of getting they witnessed, because the intimacy, you know, like in bedroom communities, they witnessed arguing, or they saw cheating, or they saw something that just didn't look right being done upon towards you. And they could be thinking this. I don't think they're speaking this. Can I find out if they're speaking about this? Is there any gossip going on? No, they're waiting to see the judgment. So maybe Aries is in a situation the neighbors are able to discern what's going on, and they're wondering, is there going to be a divorce? Is there going to be a breakup? Or is somebody going to make up? Somebody going to move in? Somebody going to move out? So if you have a partner, you have somebody something's happened with. This could as well be a family member, something that has been very hurtful that a family member has said or done, and this neighbor has witnessed this. Can I find out more on the judgment? 10 of Cups. Yes, this is family related. So does not have to be a lover or a spouse, but it could be a family member. Can I find out more for Aries? Ace of Cups. So is this new love coming for Aries? Yeah, you made a choice when it came to love, and you had a happy family. Could have been you were caught between two, or they were, but you had to make a choice. And so your neighbors may have witnessed, heard. So I don't see them gossiping, but we're going to get a little more information here. What are the thoughts towards, or the dialogue that is being said by the neighbors towards the Aries, about the Aries? Overload. Yeah, so you might be seen as somebody who is overwhelmed at the time. They might see you as overwhelmed in some capacity. It could be in your family life, your work life. I see somebody, sticking their head on a desk with a whole bunch of files. There's something to be said about a goal. They might have seen you reach some kind of goal. So maybe you've been doing some kind of glow up with your finances, or maybe your body. So they may be noticing this. Are they saying anything about this? Is there any kind of gossip or whispering? Knight of Swords, no, just watchful eyes. So your neighbors are keeping an eye on you. I'm wondering if this is protective energy or just nosy energy. Can I find out, is it protective or nosy? 3 of Wands. I think it's observing. Can I find out more for Aries? Yeah, okay, see, this is what they're concerned about. They may be concerned that your home is going to go up for sale, and then it could be on the market a while, and that could change things around where they share the community with you. They could also be concerned about the new people who come in. Maybe they've enjoyed having you. Maybe you are on the outs with them and they are looking forward to you leaving. I don't know this situation because no two areas are the same, but it looks to me like they're mostly concerned at how this is going to affect them as somebody in the community if you decide to leave. So maybe you have a choice to make, and maybe there's going to be a house going for sale. Sorry about that. Yeah, because they're playing around in their head the what ifs. What if we don't like what happens? Or what if the opposite person, say you are in a breakup, say the person could acquire the home, or it's a rental lease, but you're just wondering, what is the dynamic going to be? What is the energy going to be? So if you move somebody new in, or if you leave, the other person takes over. So this affects them in some way. So they're watching you as you come to some kind of compromise. I think that there's been a split, that, or you have a family member, a child or something, that is maybe leaving the home or going back and forth between coming to college, and or they're trying to be independent, something like this. Thank you, Delaney, for voting on the polls. And you too, Cherry. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Love, how are you doing? Can I find out more, please? For Aries. Okay, so Aries some of the Aries, this is very random, may have just recently experienced a loss of a pet. And if so, I'm very, very sorry. My heart goes out to you. I'm not going to share it now, but we had somebody just last night who might have lost one to a wild animal. And I'm not going to talk more about that. But yeah, I am very sorry, Aries, if you've experienced this. This could be that maybe they witnessed something happening, like maybe a vet visit, or maybe something like a car, something like this happening. And so the neighbor is concerned for your pet. That is for Aries. I don't think that this person is gossiping. I think that they are very observant. I think they're concerned that it's going to affect them. And If you have children and or you've been through some kind of trauma, they may have heard you if you have like a proximity that they can hear. If you've had bad dreams and say you're screaming in your sleep or something like this, there's nightmares here. I think that if you have children, they're watching and observing that your children are staying out of danger. This is somebody who I think that really truly cares about your family and or maybe just your children. They know that your children might be going through it too. This is somebody who's wondering if they need to offer some kind of charity. So I think you have somebody who would like be auntie material, grandmother, somebody who would be a nurturing type, who is looking after your family without your knowledge of it. So the kids aren't telling you if you have kids, or they're waiting for the right moment for you to show, like some reason you need to ask for help or something. So no Aries are going to be the same, but your neighbors, I think the ones I'm reading for the Aries, I think your neighbors are compassionate towards you. They might not be showing their hand at this time. Yeah, there's some kind of strategy here as well. I think that, yeah, I think that there's a few of you out here that they're strategic. They might be wanting to eye your property, or they're juxtaposing the lease. If you're on a lease, like who can they move in there if they could, or how long will it be available, or who's going to take it, the concern there. Or it could be a leg up that they bring somebody near them that they want near them. So this looks like it's because so some of you it's about self-interest, and others it's about compassion. And it is not, for the Aries people that are listening, it is not about gossip. It isn't about gossip. That's what I have for the Aries. And so the next time we do, are they spying on you, or who is spying on you, we might be able to find out if it could be a neighbor. I might actually make some key cards for that, because it's good to know if your neighbors are for some reason spying, right? Okay, so now we're going to go on to Taurus. Taurus. What are the neighbors to Taurus saying or thinking in reference to the Taurus people, please? You're coming out the Hierophant. Strength. You're coming out strong, solid. The World. Major arcanas here. Something about online. I think your neighbors know you online, or they have watched you online. Find out more about that World. Ten of Wands. The Burden. Maybe you're an influencer that is being demonetized, or you're hitting some kind of a wall when it comes to your social status online. What is strength? Seven of Cups. Is this a mental issue? Is this something mental they're seeing? Nine of Wands. I think that this person thinks you're going through some kind of mental breakdown. Taurus, if you are a personality online, maybe you do things for dramatic, theater, and they don't know whether to take things seriously. So maybe you're being kooky and offhanded because you're doing it for clicks. A lot of people do that are influencers. They have two faces. They show the world the face online, and then they show the offline. If it's kind of theatrics for some. So maybe this neighbor has found your social media. They're watching you online. You're not the same person. You could be also a Gemini cusp, just going to say that. But you could have the, because no people who do content creator types, unless they're real like holistic, outdoorsy types, they're usually not going to show their true persona, because everyone puts on, some kind of a different edge, and usually for clicks if it's an influencer. So I'm going to say, I think that they're watching you online, and they're just trying, they're just like trying to piece together how you are seeming like you're fully together in the real. Like, are you putting on an act? Because they think that you're like losing it, or you're too far off the path when they see you online. That is what I think's happening here. But you could be married. You could be wanting to get married. There could be something that's not adding up for them there. Can I find out more? What is his farewell about? Mr. Love, are you leaving us? Thank you, Delaney, for keeping us up to date with everything here. Okay, so for Taurus, what is the neighbor saying and thinking about their social media? The Taurus is social media. What are they saying and thinking about this social media for Taurus? Okay, you're an open book. They're looking at memories. So they're going through, I can't remember what they call that. I think Instagram had your, or Facebook, your stories, or something that shows like a timeline of you online. And you might bring your offline pictures to it and then give a synopsis of this is where we did this and this is this. And, you know, this person's going through your entire profile, your stories, your history, and everything you've shared. They find out more what they're seeing online, what they're saying, and thinking about what they're seeing online. Okay, they see that you have been committed to the cause, to the social media platform, or to showing up. Say you always show up and you're consistent. They are noticing this. Just a second. I found a frequency thing, and it is commercials everywhere, so I have to get the commercials off of there. Okay, so maybe that's what's happening. There's like breaks in the commitment. Taurus, maybe you've done something online that has changed, and or your ad, maybe you aren't monetized and there's ads now. So if you're doing some kind of content, people are saying and noticing that are your neighbors are getting, you know, they're congregating. They might be saying, hey, listen, maybe Taurus is hurting at this time because they no longer are monetized and things are changing for them. So they're going through and looking at your history on how you acquired, like, say, the subscribers and the monetization and just the mileage you put in on your platform. They're looking at that, and then they're looking at real life and seeing if there's any changes. So I think this is a pocket watcher type person that could actually care. But let me see, how well does Taurus know this person who is their neighbor? Five of Wands. There's been drama with this person. Taurus, there's either drama with this person, or this is a person who's very maybe gossipy, or they like to just like get in people's business because we have the Five of Wands here. Okay, so they could be a fire sign too. For Taurus, can we get more about what this person is saying or thinking on Taurus when it comes to the to the real version of Taurus? In the flesh, good news. They're waiting for you to I guess, bring out some good news. What is this good news about? Okay, they want to indulge in something you have to share. I think that this person low-key is clout chasing you. I think that you have somebody who is a drama neighbor who is low-key. So this person goes to the spa, they go to the coffee bar, they go, you know, and they're like, I live next to so-and-so. So Taurus, I don't know how big a platform you have or, you know, what you do, but whatever your non-home life situation is, it doesn't even have to be, you know, whatever it is, this person is low-key clout chasing. They're a drama person. So they are a gossip for the Taurus, I feel. Can I find out more? What are they saying and thinking? Yeah, you have marionette here, so it's kind of like this person wants to see the strings being pulled. They wonder if somebody is writing your material, or if you have somebody that you're making deals with because maybe you're not sponsored. They're wondering about this. Will you sell yourself out to be sponsored? They're talking about this, okay, in their circles. They're wondering if you'll take, if you're going to be tempted to take some kind of a pay for something that is something that would go against your beliefs, or something about you taking money, like dirty money, to sponsor products or something like this. So there is some kind of talk around that, Taurus. Can I find out more on that, please? Nine of Wands. They see that you're guarded, so they're wondering if you're going to take the bait. So there's kind of like a situation where maybe there is some kind of company that wants to have your brand, maybe be sponsoring, you know, like you're going to promote something that maybe ordinary people would think, no, that's not a good idea, or something like this, but it would pay well. So that is what they're saying. So you have somebody who's actually clout chasing, pocket watching, they're gossiping. So Taurus, I'll get a few more. You do have somebody who's not looking at you as a neighbor favorably, but they are stalking you online. Yeah. This is somebody who may believe in the supernatural. There may have been some strange oddities. You might have a channel or something that deals with EVPs, things like this. You've been on schedule. You're very punctual when it comes to uploading new content. So their concern is that you are going to, this is similar to the last one. We have real estate here, but I kind of wonder if they think you're going to buy a bigger piece of property. So they're wondering if you'll take the bait to start making more money because something happened with your platform, so you're not getting monetized. So now your desperation may be at play. So they're curious, will Taurus take the bait so that they can then live bigger and do better? So maybe you're just doing fine, you're doing good, but they're wondering if you're going to try it out, succeed where you have been presently. So this person's sort of being nosy. It's definitely pocket watching, but they're curious if you're going to move up in the world. That is what I'm seeing. They're watching you both online and in the real. Okay, Gemini. So for the Geminis, what do the Geminis have going on when it comes to what are their neighbors saying or thinking of them at this time? What are their neighbors thinking or saying of the Gemini at this time? You have a King of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords. What is the King of Swords? Five of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, I was kind of thinking that this was like a medical thing. They're looking at you as if maybe you're blocking, like you're ignoring some kind of medical issue. So I don't know if there's something obvious about you or you know your neighbors and shared anything, but this is looking like there's something like that going on. But there's also, the Knight of Cups is usually, most often, I think, romance, but I feel this is medical otherwise. Can I find out more on the Knight of Cups, please? What is the Knight of Cups? Two of Wands. So there's two choices here. So what is this medical? Can I find out if this is medical? Six of Cups. Yes, you have something from the past that maybe you were diagnosed with or something. This may be something that you don't keep secretive. Or maybe it's something that's quite obvious. You know, some people deal with things that, and I'm talking to Gemini. I hope I didn't say Taurus. We already did Taurus. Gemini. So this is something from the past. Can I find out more about what this is from the past? Okay, so you might have had an NDE, a near death, okay? Or you were told that you would have X time to live. You know, like if you didn't do something by a certain time, or you needed to consistently have some kind of treatment or something like this, because we have the death card here. I think somebody knows a little bit about you. I don't think they're nosy. I think that this is somebody, it's kind of feeling like somebody you shared with, or they know, because it's hard to hide something. But I think that it's somebody you shared with. It could be you live near a family member, quite literally. The family member is concerned, what choice are you going to take when it comes to medical? There's some kind of medical choice you have to make. Let me see here. What is the death card, please? And I'm not a doctor, mind you. So it's like you'll have to, there is gossip surrounding this. Okay, so I don't know if it's family. If I see the Ten of Cups or the Ten of Pentacles, we will say it's family, but because neighbors can be sometimes surrounding us in neighborhoods, being family members, right? Okay, so with the 3 of Cups, can I find out more about that? The Devil, yeah, somebody's really obsessed about your business, they're obsessed about knowing what you're going to do about some kind of choice, and I think it's about your well-being. This is kind of giving me somebody who means well. Can I find out more about this person? Are they a Capricorn? Queen of Swords. Aquarius, Capricorn. So this is somebody, Gemini, you may have cut out, and they are gossiping because they're trying to get information on if you're well or if you're going to do something. Can I find out more? 10 of Swords. You feel like this person... Okay, no, let me see this. Okay, this person is gossiping. That you're gonna... I think that you're going to have surgery or something like this, because we have 10 of Swords here. That, or you were massively betrayed. And you know, this is kind of the caduceus here. So it seems like in the medical aspect, you got like unfavorable medical treatment or something. And that might be what they're concerned about and what they're gossiping about. And maybe you didn't want to hear their opinion, because they seem to be really addicted to this story. It does really seem like it's medical. Can I find out more about the person who is whispering about... Okay, so this could be your mother or mother figure, the mother of your children. You could live nearby somebody, or this is a mother figure who is in your location where you live, and she got to know you, and you feel like she got to know you too well, or you're not comfortable with her getting meddlesome or putting her opinion in. Maybe she feels you shouldn't or you should do this or that when it comes to the medical decision you make, because there's a couple choice points here. And it could be that it's going to be surgery in one location versus another. You know, somebody decides to travel to Mexico or other nations to get a surgery done. Maybe this is something. But let me find out more with the oracle, what this neighbor has to... And this could be a Taurus as well. It could be we did see Capricorn. It could be a Virgo. But it feels like a mother figure, because, I mean, this is somebody very nurturing on the good side, and domineering maybe so not on the good side. So it could be somebody who feels that they know their salt, they're worth their salt. You know, they've been through experiences, and their word is gold, and you should listen to them. So it's either somebody very nurturing that cares deeply, or this is somebody who is on the other side of that, who thinks that you need to listen to them, and that's that, you know, a very strong opinion maybe. Can I find out more for the neighbor who has... What are they saying or thinking on the Gemini, please? So there is a withdrawal between you and this person, and they're telling... Oh, wait, quit. It says quit. So you had to stop something. This has to do with maybe addiction. We did see the Devil here. Maybe this has to do with addiction as well. Can I find out more? What are they saying and thinking about the Gemini? Okay, we got a vow in the reverse. So I think you broke some kind of promise. And then we have a tree here in the background. So it's like ancestral, or it's family. You broke a promise to a family member. Can I find out more for the Gemini? What are their neighbors saying or thinking about them, please? Okay, they see that you have some kind of challenge that you've taken, and that you're going the extra length to get to your goal. Can I find out more? I think that you may have stopped doing something that was bad for you. Yeah, you're committed to get over some kind of addiction. Can I find out more for the Geminis? Their neighbors. Okay, so they see that you're... If they're talking in circles about you, they're telling others that they know that you've gotten over something, that you're working on it, you're still in stride against some kind of habit that has been bad for your health, that it is maybe weakened some kind of other ailment that you had, maybe you were born with or you got early in life. This person is saying that you're putting a lot of self-love into yourself, that you care about yourself, and that you are detached from them. So you can't really, their only way of observing is by watching you and maybe seeing you online. I didn't see that though. So it's in the real, I think. So that is what I have for Gemini. I think this could be a family member who lives near you, or they are trying to inquire via a person they know who lives by you. So they're secretly perhaps connected somehow to someone who lives nearby. If it's not themselves, it's someone who you're not talking to. You're trying to heal some kind of say habit that got a life of its own or something, you know, like it took a lot out of you. It was something you decided, you know, you had to stop, and you made a choice to do it, I think, because it was causing trouble for an other underlying problem that you've lived with, and or you've had surgery. You don't want to go back to this issue again, something like this. I'm not diving in for your information. I'm just kind of giving you an idea. If this is your story, it is. If it isn't, make it stick the way that it is applied. Only parts may fit. But the neighbor, the gist of it feels like they could be related. They were like family to you at one time. If not, you know how you get to know a neighbor real well, and you're at each other's houses all the time, and you're always at each other's, you know, functions, like for holidays, and you know their family, they know yours, that kind of thing. It seems like you cut that off because maybe there was a potential that you were partaking in an addiction that was connected to them, so you had to cut them away out of your life anyway. So they're inquiring, and I don't think that they're pocket watching, and I don't think that they're doing it in a nefarious fashion, unless there is a toxic side to the nurturing feminine aspect that I described. Okay, so now we have Cancer. Cancer. So Cancer, what do your neighbors say or think of you at this time? Seven of Pentacles, that you're established, but you might have some kind of disappointment in something you've established, and it could be in your family and or your finances with the your family, the 10 of Cups, yeah. That you're established in a, say, commitment, but you may not be happy, fully satisfied, but you have given your cup over. So the neighbors are seeing that you love somebody. That is your wish fulfillment, but you're not fully satisfied. So your wish fulfillment's not giving. They're saying that, so is this person gossiping about Cancer, please? Are they gossiping that this person that's Cancer does not seem, I think that they're talking about your house. Four of Wands. Can I find out what the Four of Wands is, please? The Knight of Cups. Oh, your house. I think that you have a charming house. They think that you have a charming house because this is like love, and that's a charmer kind of energy. Can I find out if this is a charming house energy for the Knight of Cups, the Empress? Yes. You have a creative house. You have a charming house. You have a nurturing. You have a creative house. You're creative with your house. You're creative with maybe your garden, with the way your house looks, the feeling that you may be a mother. There is a mother at your house. You're the mother. What is this Empress for the Cancers, please? The Knight of Pentacles. That you're waiting for a suitor to come towards you. And the Knight of Pentacles, it's a long way. You've been waiting. You have been waiting patiently. Page of Pentacles. You may have been waiting for quite a while. What is the Page of Pentacles? The Nine of Pentacles. Yes, you've been single for quite a while. Your neighbors are noticing it. You have a charming house. You are somebody who would make a very good mother. Empress is mother energy. You are somebody who is going it alone, but you're waiting. You've been waiting a long time to not be single and to find that divine counterpart, because the Four of Wands is also the divine counterpart energy, you know, the twin flames. So I think that this person who is your neighbor is just recognizing you've got all the qualifications. You're somebody's wish fulfillment out there. They're wondering, maybe, when is this person going to show up, just as much as you're wondering. Can I find out more, please? I think the neighbors see this, or they know this. for the Cancers. Cancer, you may have experienced a neighborhood bully or an online bully. Somebody in the neighborhood may know this, and they could be saying something about this. Maybe it is because you have a nice house, a cute little charming house, maybe. Can I find out more on the bully? You may have been a target of a robbery. I have it in reverse, so it could have been a failed attempt. Maybe you have some kind of camera, and maybe your alarm system stopped them. It looks like a failed attempt. So the neighbors might have noticed that you were a target. Maybe your house is so charming, it's attracting the wrong attention. Can I find out more for the Cancers? Okay, so yeah, you are planting fruit, you're cultivating things in your yard, in your life, and it's giving, it's returning for you. Can I find out more for Cancer? They're saying that they think that you're going to make somebody very happy one day. We see somebody on bended knee proposing. So if you're not currently, so I am talking to two Cancers, a single one and a not single one. Some of you have somebody, and that somebody, it's not totally fulfilling, but it is your wish fulfillment. You are happy. But for some of you, you're waiting because you're single for the person to come through, and you've been waiting a long time. And the person, they may have promised they would come around. Maybe they're coming from a long distance. Maybe you don't know them yet. But with the Knight of Coins, it's telling me, though, that this is something you've waited on for some while. So you have been putting time into your car, too. So you might have had car repairs, or you just washed your car. You do a lot of care in your garden, around your house, and your car looks really nice. This is something that people are noticing. You are someone who takes good care of the things around you that belong to you. So if you are single, people are applying this to you would be a really good partner. And if you're not single, if you are already taken, they are saying that you put a lot of work and effort. You're very dedicated to those things and people you care about. That is what I'm getting, that people are saying that are around you, the neighbors. They see you come and go with your car a lot. If you just recently had it repaired and it's purring like a kitten, they're talking about it. They're saying, wow, there's no more of that rattly sound coming from, whatever part of the car Cancer has, right? So, or maybe you just recently, because you're getting rewarded for your hard work, maybe you just recently did upgrade to another car and they're noticing it. There's something about your house where you were targeted and they failed at trying to get in. So there could be concern. Your neighbors could be worried that what if they don't fail next time? So there could be a little worry for you on that aspect. But I am seeing no pocket watching. I see people who are just like inquisitive and interested. And I think they might truly believe that you deserve, what happiness you get because you do have a dedication to you. That is what I'm getting for the Cancers. Okay, so 5 would be Leo. What do we have for Leo? What are the neighbors saying or thinking on Leo, please? Saying or thinking on Leo, the neighbors. You got the Wheel of Fortune and you got the 4 of Cups. I think that people are noticing you have something new starting. 2 of Pentacles, but you're not noticing. You're not giving attention to it. Okay, so 2 of Pentacles, you may already be. What is the 2 of Pentacles for Leo? The Moon. So you have a new opportunity, but you're not paying attention to it because you're already involved with a secret, say, maybe person. What is the Moon, please? What is the Moon? Okay, I'm not sure what I'm getting out of this. We got the Ten of Pentacles. This is your family. It could be your legacy. We got the Secret with the Moon. Oh, wow. This could be, if say you're somebody who, say that you're always really, really attractive, and all of a sudden, boom, you decided to just kind of like let go. You're more casual. You're not like polished. There could be talk that you become pregnant if you're a woman. And if you're a man, it could be that there's talk, Leo, around you getting somebody pregnant. Can I find out more on this, please? The Devil. What is the Devil? There could be a Capricorn involved in your story. A burden, Ten of Wands, King of Swords, divorce. Could you be pregnant at the end of a marriage, maybe? Can I find out if that's what this is? The King of Swords. The Hermit. Yeah, you're going recluse. You're withdrawn. You're working on you. And, 9 months is related to 9. 9 is the Hermit right here. I'm going to say this looks to me like, because you're withdrawing, it looks like you may have been talking divorce, or you've gotten divorced, but now all of a sudden you are seeming a little bit less kempt because you're usually polished. You're withdrawing. Can I find out more what they're saying? This is the way they're saying this, okay? They're saying, hey, listen, looks like Leo is staying in a little more. The marriage looks like it's on the rocks, or it's over. The relationship's done. But doesn't it look like Leo, this is somebody saying that, right? Doesn't it look like Leo could be carrying, whatever? You know what I'm saying? So it could be they think that something like this has happened. Maybe they're just like, maybe you're just depressed and you put a few pounds on if you're a woman. Can I find out more for the Leos, what their neighbors are saying or thinking? Yeah, they are getting readings. They're getting readings on you. Somebody told them. Somebody that read for them said, your neighbor. So yeah, they're doing fortune. They're checking your fate. They're doing fortune readings on you. Can I find out more? What are they saying and thinking of Leo? Why are they getting fortune readings on the Leo? Because your schedule has changed. Why are they getting these readings on Leo? Queen of Cups. This person's playing with their own intuition. The Tower. They're almost certain that you're pregnant. They're almost certain. Can I find out more what they're saying or thinking about Leo? So they don't see that you're indulging in self-love anymore. Say you quit going and getting your nails filled. This is something you always did. Say that you're a person that did your lashes, or you got weaves, or you go in and you're always got the next cutest suit that you just found at the department store. Whatever it is, however you shop, right? You always bring a bit of cash on your appearance. You're a person who not really looks max, but you do always look polished. And this person is just thinking how strange it is that Leo next door or Leo down the street is just not looking the way they used to look, or all of a sudden they're not as together. And you could have decided to cut back, or maybe there's a lifestyle change for you, but they are piecing together the pieces and they're looking through the cards, through readers, what is going on with Leo. So why is this person so caught up in Leo's business? The Knight of Swords, they are watching you. Can I find out their intentions for watching Leo? Six of Wands, they're curious if you're going to move far away. This could be somebody who has a crush on you or something. Can I find out more about that? Leo, no, this is somebody who is down low, maybe a reader. So we do have reading your cards. This person could be secretly a reader, somebody witchy. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. Yes, that's the truth. You have a neighbor who you don't know is a diviner. But I don't think they mean any harm for you. I just think they're very nosy with their divine gifts. Can I find out more? Two of Wands, they're wondering if you're caught between two lovers. They're wondering if I was thinking about this because I had incense that I had contemplating burning today, and it was wisteria. And if you ever saw Desperate Housewives, Wisteria Lane is where they lived. And I was thinking Desperate Housewives. That's because I knew I was going to do the neighbors. So that was so weird. So I'm thinking you might be caught between two people. That's what they're coming up with. Can I find out more on this, please? What is the neighbor saying, thinking about Leo? Yeah, this person has an idea. They're on their laptop. And I got yellow. I don't know what's that. What is that? What is that idea? For Leo, their neighbors. Can I find out more about their neighbors, what they think and say? I'm getting some of the random ones that we've had already, so I'm throwing them out. Yeah, they're wondering if, okay, so this neighbor, you don't know that they're a diviner. You might suspect, okay? They are contemplating if they should offer you their services. So they might be somebody who does an online business, like at Etsy or anywhere online, and maybe they don't go into the streets, you know, like telling people, here's my business card, this is what I do, but maybe they would do a consultation. So they're wondering if you need guidance because they think you're in a position right now of life change and or a quandary between two people and something's going on with you. So they're looking for the issues that you may have going on right now. They're looking for, say, what it is that could trouble you so they can, I'm kind of feeling like they can get kind of a benefit out of it. They might truly care, but I'm not seeing it. There's a potential there could be a crush because the 6 of Wands, or Swords, could be that they don't want you leaving. They don't, yeah, King of Cups, they love having you as a neighbor. So there could be some kind of like serious crush going on here too. You know, take what you need, but not all of it's going to apply to every Leo. But you don't have to be somebody who is like, say you're a masculine, you can't be pregnant, right? But there could be talk that maybe you did, or that it could be there's 2 potential baby mamas. This is something they could be coming up with. This is something they're thinking. They're trying to piece together the facts on you. And if you're a woman, it could just be that you're just going through a change. And maybe there's like a situation where you're changing up your routine. You don't know where you're going to apply your, you don't know if you want to be like, say in these times, you're going to be more frugal. Maybe you're changing your look, your image, right? So that is what I'm getting. So this person is a down low diviner. So that's what I have. I don't know if you live in an apartment or house or what, but somehow they're getting their intel and they're doing it thinking that maybe they will benefit in some way, maybe. Okay, so Virgo, I think you're next. What is the neighbor and or what is the neighbor saying or thinking of the Virgo at this time? The Knight of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 5 of Swords. There's some kind of conflict. Your neighbor is thinking that you're taking your time at something that you are standing strong on. What is the Knight of Pentacles? 4 of Cups. So it seems like there's something you're not paying attention to. Your neighbor's noticing. What is the 4 of Cups? What is it that's not getting attention? The 4 of Swords. Is this to the home? Can you tell me what the 4 of Swords is? 5 of Pentacles. You're not paying attention to somebody that's maybe trying to come around that you have told to stay away. It seems like somebody that you told to stay away, your neighbors are noticing, they're coming around. They are driving by your house. They are stalking as to when can they show up, or are they going to pop up on you? 3 of Cups, they could be wanting to celebrate something with you, and so they're secretly watching for when they can pop in. 3 of Cups, so your neighbors are watching as somebody is going to try to pop up on you. So they're seeing it happen. So it's kind of like, who's that car driving there? Oh, that's the person who used to know the Virgo. So like, say the people in the house, like down the way, they see it and they're like, well, what do they want with Virgo? And some of them say, well, they used to know Virgo real well, because these people may know this. Okay, because the 3 of Cups is gossip. Let me find out more. For Virgo, their neighbors, what are they saying and thinking? The Emperor, There could be an Aries in your story. This could be the Aries that is trying to pop up. Your neighbor could be an Aries as well. It could be your boss. Maybe you had a personal relationship with your boss. Can I find out more? It could be your father. It could be a father figure. Can I find out more? What are the neighbors saying or thinking on the Virgo? Two of Wands. What is the Two of Wands? Five of Wands. There's some kind of drama about a choice you made. Seems like the story everyone's getting. Page of Pentacles. About a younger, this could be younger earth sign than yourself, but you could be a young earth sign because you're a Virgo. So you have had triumph over adversity when it comes to love, okay? So there was some kind of a, and we have Earth showing up here too. So usually you have reason and common sense that the neighbors are saying, no, Virgo wouldn't take up with those people again. I think it could be partiers that you used to hang out with. You're younger and maybe you're becoming more wise. And could be that this is like a place that they know that this person coming around would take you out and take you for a party, and maybe you'd slip back into your old ways. Can you find out more on that? Ace of Swords. I think that's the truth. Okay, so Virgo, this is somebody who the neighbors might see as a challenge to the growth you put in to yourself and say, no more acting like you're a frat or sorority sister or something like this, right? Somebody who's partying all the time. So it's like a grown-up version of you has taken over, and this person coming around is from your old life. And they want to pop up, they haven't yet admitted, hey, I'm going to be coming to your door, I'm going to come to your house, whatever. And so your neighbors are seeing this. They know that you've changed, you've turned a new leaf. You're dedicated now to growth and growing and being a better individual, right? A more grown individual. Can I find out more for this Virgo, what the neighbors are saying and thinking about this Virgo? I went and put the cards back in the deck on bad habit there. Okay, let me find out. What are they saying and thinking about Virgo, the neighbors? Okay, they're saying and thinking you might break your commitment to yourself if you are to link up with these people again. So this person's bad news is coming around, or it could be a few people, but it looks like it's probably one, and your neighbors are talking to each other. So it does look like a little bit of neighbor, dabbling, like, oh, do you know, like they all have something to add to the story. Can I find out more? Yeah, because they're keeping an eye on you, that you're showing up at work and that you're doing this and that they're paying attention to details on you. Can I find out why they are doing that on Virgo? Six of Swords. What is Six of Swords? I got, you know what? I got a hat on the Six of Swords. Usually you don't see that. I saw a hat. I'm thinking highbrow. So this person or these people, they think that you're highbrow, and they think you're very intuitive, and they're proud because something with a high priestess, your intuition, your highbrow. Let me find out more. And maybe you're in a spiritual kind of business or something like this. You had some kind of disturbance that hit you hard and you come back from it. So the Four of Swords energy, you have rebuilt yourself from, say, some kind of a huge heartache or something, maybe an addiction, I don't know what, but you had something that was not a victory and you've turned it around. Can I find out more what the neighbors are saying and thinking on the Virgo, of the Virgo? Yeah, they are looking back to something that might have happened on the 22nd of last month, or the 22nd of some month, or they knew you when you were 22, but there was some kind of seed point that you went through, and they saw you as you matured and you started to evolve from the changes you were making, and they are watching you at this new juncture of growth. Can I find out more what they're saying and thinking about the Virgo, please, the neighbors? You have alliance. So these neighbors are alliances to you. They are people that you turn to, you talk to, you share with. These aren't people who are or pocket watching. It doesn't look to me like they have anything negative going on here. So Virgo, I think that they are watching people pop up on you that should not be in your life now. They're wondering what you're going to do. Are you going to keep that promise to yourself? What is Virgo going to do? They see it's a challenge. I think that they see you as strong. Clarifying this with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, they keep an eye on you. Maybe they want to make sure you're protected. The Knight of Cups. Down low, I think that your neighbors really care about you. There's heartfelt energy here. They see that success and new opportunities are coming for you in the future. I don't think they're pocket watching, though. 7 of Pentacles. You've come a long way. 7 of Pentacles. That means that you really invested in you. So these are people who I think admire you. And they want to be certain that no one's going to mess that up. That is what I'm seeing for Virgo. For their neighbors. So how are we all doing? Okay, I am going to just take a look over at the polls for a minute. Okay, so far Dharma is the next reading we're going to do, but if it changes, I'll let you all know. Okay, so Virgo, that means Libra is next. Libra, what are your neighbors saying or thinking of you at this time? You got the King of Cups, the 8 of Swords, the Hermit. This isn't feeling like a Libra in a relationship, though. King of Wands. You're in control of your emotions. You're in your head quite a bit. They're saying that you're staying withdrawn. You're staying in. You're not going out as much. Maybe you're working hard hours. Maybe you're working hard at home. You're not coming out. You're not seeking what you hope for. You're not going after your hopes anymore. They're saying that you are staying withdrawn. Can you find out more? For Libra, the Sun. So I'm seeing here that there is a spotlight on you not going anywhere. So maybe your car is in the shop, or maybe, what is the Sun, please? What is the Sun for Libra? The Lovers. Oh, wow. So there could be a Gemini in your story. Your neighbors. The Lovers. There's a spotlight on a choice that you have to make. And I think it's about love and business. I kind of think that this is about love and business. So something about, can I find out more about this choice for Libra? Justice, your energy. Yeah, you have to decide about something about love or business. So maybe your love life is online and not in the real. In your work life, your boss could have sent you to work. You're working at home. Maybe you're between jobs. I don't know. There's a choice. What is the justice and the choice for Libra and the neighbors? And they're saying this, thinking this, and saying this. Judgment and justice, excuse me, for Libra. 6 of Swords. This is moving somewhere, Libra. And it could be towards a career or towards a lover, a person you love. Can I get a clarification which version this would be, which choice this could be? High Priestess. You're getting readings. They're getting, oh, are they getting readings? Are they getting readings on the Libra? The neighbors. Are they getting readings on the Libra? The Fool. You have an Aries in your story, maybe. This could as well be you have a twin flame situation. Divine counterpart. What is the Fool? It's a new beginning, right? Okay, so 8 of Wands. Messages coming in. Is this love? Is this love? 4 of Cups. You don't see love coming for you. Okay, so you're concentrating. You have 2 choices. Your neighbors somehow know, and I don't know how they know this, unless you told them something and you just pretty much decided to put your blinders on and just ignore that part of your life. Because it looks to me like there is a choice between love and business. But you have a new beginning coming. You could be moving and you're hermiting. I think that maybe you're putting your blinders on the possibility you're going to be asked to move. Somebody is going to force you to move. So it's a love situation or a work situation. They may not know the difference themselves. They may know that there's something in your life that is causing you to examine your home life. And so you're throwing yourself into home and working at home. Maybe there's conflict. Your neighbors feel that you have a conflict going on. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. So your neighbors see that you maybe were told to start working from home. You've been working at home. You're contemplating your job, but there is somebody on the back burner that you are romantically linked to. You'd have to move to be towards. And they have put a ring on the Libra. They have put a ring on the subject. In other words, well, will this make you, decide sooner? So like they showed you a shiny brand new ring on screen and they say to you something. So your neighbors, you somehow told them about this and you've gone into hiding since. So you have not made a decision. You're like the, what is the 2nd of February? There's that groundhog, right? It's like they're waiting for you to make a decision. They don't know what you're going to do either. Can I find out more? 7 of Pentacles. You have been invested in either your career and or where you live. What is this, where they live? Is this where Libra lives? You've been invested where you've been a long time. Yeah, 2 of Wands. To move, it would be a big deal for you. So it could be that you put a lot of effort into that house, that job. There's been a lot of pouring of, so now your heart is splitting between love and dedication to the cause of where you've been, your abode, maybe thinking that this person would move to you. You have such a charming life where you are. Why wouldn't they want to come to your life, be in your world? So you are embracing your home at this time, but somebody wants to, so they might not have appeared with a piece of jewelry that would be a wedding, type thing. Yet they're trying to persuade you to go their way, to pick them. And the neighbors know this, but you haven't come out and told anybody yet what is happening. So there's something that's very, very mysterious about a choice that you have to make. So it doesn't have to be these things. It could be, you flip this what way you need to. It could be something your neighbors are noticing that you need to make a choice about, and you're just being very, very mysterious over this choice. Can I find out more for the Libras? Yeah, you have stubborn energy. Information could be coming in and you're just ignoring it. That goes along with the 4 of Cups too. For Libra, overload. So you're throwing yourself into work. You're throwing yourself into work at this time, and from maybe your computer screen or something like this. Can I find out more for Libra? What their neighbors are saying and thinking? So they are saying that they're your friend. They know you're overworking. You're shutting yourself in. They're saying that you're mysterious. They're saying that you're committed to your work, that you're overly committed to your work. But they did say something to each other and say a circle. A couple of them could have said, there's 2 of them talking at least. And they're saying that you've received or you're about to receive a gift. They know. So there could be a friend circle. Like maybe the person you're in love with online on Facebook or somewhere where there's a friend circle where your neighbors know the person. But there's a gift that is publicly, I think, known you are about to, or you did receive. And you have not come out and actually shown, spoke of. And they're wondering how you received this or how your reception is about it. Are you happy about it? Are you excited? Are you open? Are you interested? And they're just it's just very mysterious what is going on with Libra. Can I find out more about this gift for Libra when it comes to the talk from their neighbors? It is about marriage. Marriage come out. Yes. Yes. And you said stop. So it's kind of like you hit the panic button. Your neighbors know that you have commitment phobia maybe, or you're afraid, or you have been hurt. That is what I'm seeing. So your neighbors are talking. They're your friends. They care. They're not intruding. They're not knocking at your door. They're not bothering you. They may know you online, so they know online what's going on to that level. but they are not bothering you. They're just keeping tabs on what are you going to decide. So they think of you as a friend. And that is not, I don't think, a pocket watcher or nosy neighbors to the level that they're doing it for some unkind reason. Okay, so I think that they truly do care, Libra. They're concerned, but you're being very mysterious. That's what I'm getting for the Libras. And that it may be just one or two Libra. It might not even fit any Libra. I don't know. That shows up anytime soon anyway. Hey, Jakisha, how are you? Did anyone happen to see that I did the alien post? Did anybody see that? Starseed and alien? Okay, so Libra 7. Okay, so now we have Scorpio. What are the neighbors saying and thinking of Scorpio at this time? What are the neighbors saying and thinking of Scorpio at this time? You have the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Swords. You're not getting sleep because you're having a lot of sexual fun. So maybe they can hear you. Maybe you're noisy in the bedroom. Okay, yeah, you have lovers coming at you fast. You could have a Cancer who's a lover to you, maybe a Capricorn, but the neighbors can hear you. They know. Okay, they know. They might not be saying to others, but they know. They're thinking, man, Scorpio's getting some action again. The Knight of Swords, yeah, this person's curious about you. So you could have a peeping Tom. You could have somebody who's voyeuristic. Make sure if you're not up for that, that you're keeping everything shut very well in the windows. I wasn't meaning to make an adult reading here, but yeah, it's looking that way. Scorpio, you get this all the time. I know it. Okay, so Scorpio, what are the neighbors saying and thinking of you at this time? Injustice, Libra energy. You could be a cusp. Can I find out more? What are the neighbors saying and thinking of Scorpio at this time? Seven of Cups. I think they're wondering, we got the World, we got Strength. I think they're wondering if you're going to get married to this last person that you're hooking up with. I'm not saying that you hook up with a lot of people, but the most current, the one that you are recently making, say, bedroom noise with, right? They're wondering if they watch you online, so they may be in a friends group. They may know you online. I mean, nowadays people can know each other without even planning to, right? I mean, because you know, like how they have the algorithms, you may also know this person, you know, like if you're on like Facebook or something, the friend groups, they might say, you might want to add so-and-so to your friend group, because they make assumptions, the algos do, right? So I've got Strength. This person, there is a possibility we have a Leo here too. Is there any feelings coming from the neighbor towards the Scorpio? Six of Swords. What is the Six of Swords? Page of Wands. This is somebody who may have moved a long way to be in the neighborhood you're at. I'm not saying that they knew you before they did this, but they did move a long way. They could be a foreigner to you. This is a passionate person. Are they passionate towards Scorpio then? Tell me more about the Page of Wands. Yes, Eight of Pentacles. This is somebody who is a younger fire sign, perhaps. And they work really hard. They're working on something. What are they working on? I'm not going to look too much into them. I'm just curious. Okay, they're working on healing their heart. So I kind of see that they have like maybe a low-key fascination with you. Yeah, lovers. They see you as somebody that they would make a choice on, but they aren't healed. And you are having fun times without them, but they are knowing, so they're paying attention. They could actually be healing at the same time they are doing things at night with themselves, thinking of you, if you know what I'm saying. Can I find out more about this person's thoughts and feelings towards Scorpio? The Empress. They think that you're either a wonderful mother or you would make a wonderful mother. They could prescribe to the twin flame scenario. Okay, if they do, they may think that you are their twin. So you would know this, or you'd have a feeling about them, maybe. I don't know. Does this person see themselves, this neighbor, as the Scorpio's twin, please? The Knight of Swords, they keep an eye on you, definitely. Do they see them as a twin? Yes, they're stuck on you. I think this person believes they're your twin. Can I find out more on that twin for the neighbor? For Scorpio. Yes, an authority figure in your world, 3 of Pentacles, and vows. This person feels that the two of you have promised yourselves to each other on the 5th realm, the astral side. This person or you, one of you, may have had a divorce prior, not to each other, I don't think, but I think that there was a divorce. Now, this neighbor you may have given to at some point. I don't know if you're romantically linked. You might have just been somebody that shared some messages and some good conversations with them. Let's get some more information with the Oracle for Scorpio and how the neighbors, and I think it's just the one. How does this neighbor, can we get an idea what their signs are? I'm just curious for Scorpio. Okay, you have Taurus, Sagittarius, and Cancer. What does this neighbor say or think? What are they saying or thinking of the Scorpio? Okay, so we have fright. There is some kind of fear here. What is this? What is... Oh, I wonder if they're afraid you're going to get married and leave, or they're going to lose you. I kind of think that they're afraid they're going to lose you because they think that you're their twin, their divine counterpart. They're low down in love with you. King of Cups. Yeah, they're conflicted because they haven't yet fully healed. You're already connected with somebody you're having a nice time with, or we should say a good time with, right? I think it intrigues them. At the same time, I think it hurts them. 2 of Cups. You might have expressed that this is your soulmate, the person that you are seeing at this time. Or maybe they're contemplating that, oh, there's a lower, some people might like try to classify them and it might be a lower tier than the whole divine union thing. So they might say, well, it's just a soulmate. It will fade away. It will, this person, but then they started questioning this and they started thinking you're this neighbor for Scorpio, they might have said, oh, but is it temporary? And that could have put them into fear, like a tailspin, questioning their own thoughts as to, is this a fleeting thing or is it going to grow? Is it going to keep getting better and bigger for you? Yeah. This person, can I get some more on this neighbor for the Scorpios? What are their thoughts now on the Scorpio? So you have readiness in this person. They're preparing. They're preparing. The number 44 might mean something. They're preparing something. Can I get some more on their thoughts on Scorpio? Okay, so they're thinking about either planning, picking, buying. I don't know. It's like it's getting you flowers, getting you something to beautify your home, your space, to make you think of them. They're thinking of something like this, Scorpio. Can I find out more? What are they thinking of Scorpio, the neighbor? So as they can hear you from whichever vantage, it could be the window they can hear you at, could be the wall, it could be when you're driving home and you're getting out of your car with the person, it could be anywhere. Maybe you're hanging out at a pool in the back, or in the front, or maybe you're having drinks, like say on the lanai or whatever they call the porch or whatever, right? You're doing something with this person that you're seeing, and this person's lonely while they notice you making all kinds of fun, like you're having fun, you're making love, you're having fun, and they're feeling so much loneliness. Can I find out more what this neighbor is thinking of this Scorpio, please? Okay, so we have hesitation. So yeah, this person is a little bit caught up in their feelings, or a little bit uncertain. I think it's because they're not fully healed. But you have them wanting to buy you flowers or something like this, okay? They want to get you a gift. They want to get something to beautify your space that you'll be able to look at and think of them. So they want to be a part of your world. Can I find out what they're thinking, the neighbor is thinking of this Scorpio? Okay, this is the last one I'm pulling. I will get a clarification on it. It's number 56. It does break down to 11, okay? Captivity, confinement, This person feels like they're in jail without you, okay? This person is feeling really, really blocked. Can I find out more about this neighbor, the moon? Can I find out more about this moon for the neighbor of Scorpio? 6 of Cups. Yeah, there's history. So I'm getting this neighbor is the dream world, the 5D. They are seeing pieces like a puzzle scattered all around them, and they're trying to put them together. How the two of you belong to each other. That's what I'm getting. So I think that what's happened is they fully believe you are their twin, the divine counterpart. Is this Scorpio the counterpart to the neighbor? 4 of Swords. What is the 4 of Swords? 6 of Pentacles. I kind of feel it could be a karmic situation, only you'll know. But that kind of gives me a feeling that maybe you were put in their life to help them find themselves, because they are coming from heartache. They come from the 3 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords here, renewal, reinvention. And maybe you were put in as like a contract, and maybe the 4 of Wands is just simply you. What was the Empress actually? But this person's supposed to see in you the qualities they need to look for after they heal. So you're just put there to help them heal. So depending on how you feel about this person could be your divine counterpart. But if it is the case, go ahead and ask me when it's your turn and we will look into it. Okay, so now we are going to get Sagittarius. What do your neighbors think or feel of you, Sagittarius, over you? What are your neighbors thinking or feeling about you at this time? For Sagittarius, the birds just showed up. I think the crows. Justice, 7 of Swords, Temperance, that's you. Libra energy here. Sagittarius energy here. 7's also July. 7 is strategic, but it could be thievery, it could be deceit. What is the Justice, please? 8 of Cups. And what is the 7 of Swords? The Knight of Cups. And Temperance. What is Temperance? Okay, so your neighbors, I don't think that they were talking about you. I think they're thinking this. So, and I couldn't tell you really. There could be as many as 2 of them. It might just be one, or say a unit where you have like a couple or roommates or something like that living on the other side or nearby, right? So it's like they happen to live in the same abode. So it's that, or they're independently living there. But this is giving, you have either had some major, say, court, say, thing, or maybe a big breakup. Something has happened to throw you off balance. You've gotten your balance. You've walked away from what was imbalancing you. And you've been very strategic. And it could be about courtship. It could be about romance. You've been very strategic about this. And I don't know why, but it seems to be Sagittarius. If you were linked to a Taurus, this could apply differently, but it could be linked about taking time on marriage, and it could be healing marriage, okay, or coming away from something that could have been, say, a King and a Queen of Swords kind of energy, like divorce. So maybe you didn't get divorced and there was talk of it or something like that. But if you're in no commitment, or you weren't married, right, or you're in a relationship, this is saying that your neighbors are noticing it's taking a long time for you to get equilibrium when it comes to getting married with a person who you've in time thought of as marriage material. Can I find out more? 2 of Wands. Because there's 2 locations. The 2 of you are at different places, different choices to make. Could be 2 different people too. What is this 2 of Wands, please? So the neighbors may notice an Aquarius or another air sign as a choice that you would make, Sag. Can I find out more about this Queen of Swords? Page of Swords. So they keep an eye on you, Sag. particularly at night. So you could be somebody that goes out and does things at night, and or your lights go on at a certain time. You have a peculiar, say, I want to say schedule or work hours, or they're concerned about when you work, or they don't know what you do for work. They're curious about work. They're also curious about your romance, about when this is going to become something more aligned with marriage. They're curious of that, and they're curious about your work situation. I don't know that they're pocket watching. It doesn't look that way. It could just be pure curiosity. Can I find out more about the moon? Page of Cups. And it could be that they're curious about the marriage because they're wondering if you're going to have children. The moon is mother energy too. And the Page of Cups could be a young water sign. What is the moon and the Page of Cups? 7 of Pentacles. So you've invested in this person that you would be marrying, and you've been with them for quite a while. They are somebody who is showing that they would be mother material. Now, you can flip this if you need to. If you're a feminine, could be that the clock is getting you, the biological clock, and the neighbors are talking. Are they going to get married in time? Do you think that they're going to, they're saying this is how they're speaking, right? Do you think Sagittarius is going to get to the deadline? They're going to be able to make a child if they wait to get married until they're wondering if you're investing your time wisely while you're waiting patiently to make the marriage happen. Because you're being very patient, you're taking your time at doing this. And so whichever way it is, you're masculine or feminine, right? Seems like your whole life is on display for this. So it feels like a fishbowl neighborhood, or you live in a complex where the walls are paper thin. So I'm getting they're concerned that you are going to get what you want. So this is somebody I think that maybe doesn't have a lot going on in their world. That's why they're paying attention to so many degrees of what's happening to you or for you. Can I find out where they're coming from? The people who are saying things and thinking things that are neighbors to Sagittarius, where are they coming from? Death. Oh, wow. Scorpio energy, death. Okay, so they're wondering if there's an end to... Okay, so is that pregnancy related? Is that pregnancy related? Ace of Swords, yes. Okay, so maybe they wonder if you're going to bring children. Maybe you have a quiet house, apartment, and there's no babies crying. Maybe they're wondering, when is there going to be babies crying on the other side of the wall? Or when are we going to start hearing screaming and, children, or crying and laughing and, different kinds of noises kids make? Maybe this is somebody concerned about that. Can I find out more about the neighbors? Queen of Wands. That's your energy, Sag. 2 of Wands. Excuse me, Swords. So you have 30 more minutes, babe. Yeah, we'll do it in just 30, okay? You'll be okay. I'm getting asked about food here. So this is a baby coming to me now who wants fed, but it's a little early. So this is what happens. There's like needs that children have that sometimes can be noticed and observed by other people who live nearby you. So it's kind of like an extension of their own home. So this neighbor, Sagittarius, I think is inquisitive because they wonder how it's going to affect them. So they know that you are on the way to doing something that's going to be life-changing, and they're concerned how it's going to affect them. And it isn't a pocket watching. They also may be concerned that you're going to get your wish fulfillment. So how do they feel about that? There's a lot of drama surrounding that because I think they want it for you, but they're wondering if it's going to affect them. That is what I'm seeing. So they could be a writer or somebody who works from home. It could be somebody who it quite honestly could really affect their living situation if you're living so close to them and they are concerned about that. Maybe so one of our Sag people is connected to a person here, Carrie, if you're here, hey, that it's common that you could have twins or triplets. That could be a lot of noise. That could be a lot of needs. That could be a lot of noticement because you can't, maybe one kid you could notice, but 2 or 3 could really be noticeable, right? So if the person's somebody who's very quiet, say they're meditative, say they're a writer, they're a doctor, there's somebody who really needs time, right? And quiet to say, really retain information and or put it to paper, put it to their tablet, whatever they write on, right? But this is somebody who they are contemplating, is this going to affect me? I really want 𝗪𝗪𝗵𝗵𝗵, but how is it going to affect me? And for Sagittarius neighbors, yeah, so you have reservation. So there's Cancer energy there too. This person may have reservations about, how much do they want you to have your wish? They think of themselves as selfish, but they're thinking, well, am I going to have to make a change in my lifestyle, or am I going to have to make a change where I'm living when this happens? Yeah, we got a trap in reverse for your neighbors. So maybe they would try to say something to you to maybe dissuade you, maybe change your thinking. I don't know if this person would do that. I don't know. They don't feel manipulative. So maybe they're wondering if you're falling for some kind of trap. I don't know what that is. So no Sagittariuses are the same. So it could be a situation where there is a trap. Maybe this person does have a trap. I don't know. We're going to ask a few more. What is the neighbor thinking or saying on the Sagittarius people? They are stressed. So I think that they're telling others, if they are talking to people in their own abode, hey, listen, I noticed Sag is a little stressed. Do you think that things are still on? Something like that. Can I find out more? What are the neighbors saying or thinking on the Sagittarius people? Real estate, yeah, they're wondering if you're going to be moving or if they should move. They're talking about it. This is just what I was just saying, because they're wondering if you need to expand. Maybe the place isn't big enough to have, like, say, if you do have 2 or 3 extra little bodies running around and they know that you're going to have to leave. So they're talking, there could be a move coming. So things are going to happen, but we're wondering if it's going to happen on time, because maybe Sagittarius or their person is getting older and the biological time clock may be ticking pretty quickly, and so they're wondering, it's going to happen real fast. It's going to shock the what out of us when there's going to be a for sale sign put in the front of the yard. That is what I am getting. Sagittarius has to do with your life and the changes that you're making in your life at this time that you've been waiting on and you've been wanting, but it's how it indirectly affects those people that are not in your life, but they're around it. That is what I have. For Capricorn, what do we have for the neighbors, what they're saying and thinking on Capricorn? What are the neighbors saying and thinking on Capricorn? You got the 6 of Wands and you got the King of Wands. Capricorn, you're getting a lot of attention. Your neighbors are noticing your boss is giving you more hours and recognition. You're getting attention at work. You're getting, maybe you got some kind of a advance or a promotion. Something about an advancement or increase, pay increase, or promotion. People are noticing around you. I don't know if they're talking about it, but let's find out more. What are the neighbors saying or thinking about Capricorn? The Emperor. If you have your own business, it's taking off. They know this. Can I find out more? For Capricorn, the neighbors. Page of Cups in reverse. What is the Page of Cups in reverse for Capricorn, the neighbors? Capricorn, you might have a kid, somebody younger than you, that might have said some spicy things to you. I don't mean sexual. I mean, they were sassy, and it could have caused a tower moment. There could have been an outs with somebody younger than you. It doesn't have to be a family member. It could have been a work associate, an employee. You could have had a tower moment. You could have had to fire them. There could have been an explosive exchange of words, and your neighbors heard it. Could have been you on the phone. Well, if you don't like it here, you can work somewhere else. I pay you well, things like this. Could be your boss saying this to you or otherwise. I mean, so it's either way. There's something that is being overheard maybe that caused a tower when it comes to your work career. But you are still advancing in your career. So I see that you're getting recognition. I think that you're maybe the master of your what it is you do for work, right? And or maybe you are owning your own business at this time, and they are seeing this. Your neighbors are recognizing this, and you're being recognized for being someone who handles conflict well. Under stress, you're very good. You're getting into your legacy at this point. You're building your your nest egg, your finances are growing. Your neighbors are seeing it. They're seeing that you're growing, but also you're very assertive. You're very together. You might have to make some decisions that are not easy, like they overheard something that cost someone a job or something, or a demotion for that person, something you had to put somebody on. I don't know. You told somebody something and some neighbor heard this, okay? So this is what I have right here for Capricorn. What else do we have? I have Queen of Wands energy, Sagittarius. That could mean that your cusp does not have to be. Your neighbors are noticing that you're very attractive. And they're not afraid to say so. So I'm not sure they're saying it to others. Let me find out. What is the Queen of Wands with the Capricorn? Two of Pentacles. Okay, so you're balancing out. I think from what I'm getting here, it's not two people. It feels like it's your career and maybe your love life. But where you're so attractive, I forgot to say, I think that you're like dressing to the T's. You're sharp dressed. If you're a man, you're in suits. If you're a woman, you're wearing all of the modern day, right, aesthetics that a woman wears so that she can look career orientated. And so, I mean, because I'm not up to snuff on knowing this because I don't go into the career world, but yeah, whatever way it is that, you know, the look, you kind of like have that magazine kind of quality about you, somebody who walked off of a magazine. So you're very posh, you're very polished. And I think that you are giving to both. So it's like you're trying to strategize a way to spend time with the one you love, the ones you love, and your work, your career. And they're seeing this. So I think they see you, maybe you get in your car with a briefcase or something like this. I don't know. Could be just your machine that you use. You take it with you in a case. Maybe you have a briefcase, you know, with legalese and things you carry. I don't know. But there's something about it. It feels highbrow. We got a card that fell out. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. So the person who's in love with you does romance you. So you kind of like I said, you're kind of like trying to live in both worlds, the financial sector where career is and where love is. So you're split. You're juggling between love and career, and your neighbors see this. For Capricorn, what else do the neighbors say and think? They feel you're fearless. They may have seen you have an accident, or they're curious if you had a car accident. Did you fall off your bike, or did you have a bumper? Somebody did a hit and run on your car. There's some kind of accident you have been through, or you might have fallen, but something is being spoken on about this. So there could be an old injury they saw. Somebody's curious about an accident. I'm getting it might have been your car or a bike. For Capricorn, what are the neighbors saying and thinking at this time? Okay, so some of your neighbors might think that you've fallen for some kind of trick. What is the trick? Can you tell me what the trick is? Something that you walked away from. So there was a trick that maybe you fell for, your neighbor saw. What would that have been involving? Okay, I'm getting fool's gold kind of energy. Maybe you fell for some kind of like a razzle dazzle, like fake jewelry or something. You know how back in the day they were selling, they still do, but they were selling like cubic zirconium versus wedding diamonds, right? Maybe there was some kind of fake jewelry that you almost fell for, but you didn't. That's what I'm getting. And this person knows. But you also had an accident of some kind. So you're usually like ahead of the game. If anyone's playing anything on you, you know it. And so you're kind of getting noticed for being a sharp cookie. Like no one's going to pull anything over on the Capricorn. And that is what the neighbors are saying. One more for what the neighbors are saying about Capricorn at this time. Saying or thinking, oops. That one keeps coming out. There could be stress. that they're witnessing that you've had, they're speaking on, and something about a vow coming up. So you may be making a promise, you may be planning a marriage. Your neighbors are noticing, they're paying attention. So it could be that you did go out and shop for a piece of jewelry, you saw it wasn't what you thought it was, and you said, no, that's not what I'm going to give my special somebody. And they saw you talking on the phone about it, or they happened to see you talking to someone in person over it, or you just told them. And so maybe they're talking to each other on this. They don't look like they're gossiping. I would say that it's maybe within the abode. So it's like chatter amongst the people in their house. So it's not like gossip. So I don't think you have anyone clout watching or pocket watching, or I don't think you have 3 of Cups energy at all. So I don't think that they're trying to spill secrets on you. I just think that they're recognizing things, and they're just kind of like thinking, wow, Capricorn, I wonder how they're doing after they had that accident. I wonder how, they're thinking, I think that they're thinking positive. They think you're sharp. That's what I have for you, Capricorn. What do I have for Aquarius? What are the neighbors thinking and whispering, and or I didn't say that before, thinking and saying when it comes to Aquarius, please? What are the neighbors thinking and saying when it comes to Aquarius? I'm going to have to do a break after Pisces. When I do that, I am going to probably mute Mike, because I don't know what happens in the house if I leave the mute on. So I'll be here, just letting you all know, but I'll be away for a little bit and I'll be back. So I don't know, it might take about 10 or so minutes. So you may all just want to talk, and then I will get on to the next reading, and then we'll do your personals. Thank you so much, everyone, for liking, sharing, and subscribing and mingling. I appreciate it. And thank you for respecting the channel and each other. Thank you, Delaney, for the help. What are these digits about, Chip Pinfin? Hey, Rare Diamond, it's been a while. Jakisha, I don't know if I said hello. So I don't know if we have someone who doesn't belong here. Chipfin. If they're for real, then we will figure that out. Right now, I just took that away because I don't know what the heck that's about. So we will take that out. Okay, so Aquarius, what do the neighbors say and think of you? The World. What is the World? The Chariot. You got an Cancer attached to you, maybe, or something's coming in fast. You have the Devil energy here too. So there's something fast coming in. We have addiction, Capricorn, and Cancer here. Can I find out more? That could be motherhood. That could be a car. If you're waiting for any Aquarius is wanting a new car, this could be a car's coming in fast. You drive your car fast. Your neighbors could say that you drive too quick. Your neighbors could talk about you and some kind of addiction with a Cancer or a Cancer on you. Can I find out more when it comes to Aquarius, the neighbors, and what they are saying and thinking on the Aquarius, please? 7 of Wands. That you had to stand up against a Cancer or a Capricorn. That you stood up to. You held your ground against one of these signs, maybe. They watch you online. Your neighbors watch you online, so they know that there is one of these 2 signs that may have provoked you, crossed the line. There's something like this. Can I find out more? Aquarius and their neighbors. What are their neighbors thinking and feeling? Or not feeling, excuse me, thinking and saying on Aquarius? King of Swords. Aquarius, they might think that you're divorced, and maybe you are. What is the King of Swords, please? Or that you're going to get divorced? What is the King of Swords? The Star. That is you, the Aquarius. You're healing from a divorce. Can I find out more? What are the neighbors saying and thinking on Aquarius? King of Wands. That you're your own authority, that you aren't letting anyone tell you how to proceed, how to heal, when to heal, what to do. Can you find out more? You're your own woman, your own man, whomever you are. Can you find out more? What are the neighbors saying, thinking? So you're very self-assured, you're very confident. Ace of Pentacles. So if you are married, you aren't letting anyone get in the way of this. If you're getting married, you aren't letting anyone get in the way of this. Ace of Pentacles, there's a new beginning coming for you. And it could be in commitment to a job or a person, as in marriage, a vow. And this is something the neighbors are seeing. Can I find out more? For the neighbors with Aquarius, what are they saying and what are they thinking of the Aquarius, please, at this time? The Sun, that you're happy and the spotlight's on you when you go out, when you're around. So you look like you radiate some kind of warmth about you, and or you might attract attention because the Sun is always attracting attention. Can I get more on the Sun, please? It could also think you're doing shadow work, or you've just come from shadow work and you're doing really well because this is healed energy. We saw the star too. Can I find out more? The neighbors and what they are saying and thinking of the Aquarius at this time. 8 of Cups in reverse, that you're returning to yourself. So you may have healed and now you are like evolving into a new version of you. Let's get some energy from the Oracle on what they're saying and thinking. What are the neighbors saying and thinking on Aquarius at this time? Natural disaster, number 38. You're taking some kind of risk. You survived something already and you feel strong. You're ready to risk something at this time. Can I find out more what they're thinking or saying, the neighbors on Aquarius? Blessing, that you have blessings coming your way, fulfillment, well-being, enlightenment, good dharma. And that may be what our next reading is the good dharma. So yeah, keep locked in over here. So if you want to hear that, if you're Aquarius, that will be the next, I think, unless somebody changes that, but it looks like that is next in store for the readings. What is it that the neighbors are saying and thinking on Aquarius, please, this time? Justice, that you're very balanced. You're very, very neutral. You're logical. And number 11 could mean something to you. They could be talking about you being in a twin situation. They could be talking about how balanced you are and that you're walking in your divine path, your mission. Can I find out more? What are these neighbors saying and thinking about Aquarius, please? Lastly, I think that they're saying you broke some kind of curse, or they're wondering if you're going to break a curse. Number 40. There may have been a curse put on you, and maybe there's been some misfortunes that have been noticed. And so people are kind of like maybe thinking, putting pieces together. Wow, no wonder why Aquarius had to do all that healing. No wonder why they had to be so introspective for so long and do the shadow work. They were under some kind of a spell, and or may still be, and they're still working through it. That is what I'm seeing for what they're saying. So these people don't seem to be ill-willed towards you. They're just very observant. That is what I have for the Aquarius people. For the Pisces people, and I'll catch up with everybody when I get back from my pause, okay? And then we'll get on to the second reading and then your personal answers. Thank you so much for your patience. And don't anyone forget, if you are an OG, Bunny Blades has been renewed. Put new life into her, and that is where I'm going to do my appreciation to OGs and anyone who subscribes. That is good to the channels. They're good in the community. They're people who show support. They're very kind and courteous to the channels and to the people on the channels. So that is where I show extra TLC. So please show some hearts. Show some hearts here if you like that idea, if you're all for that. And Lucky Girl has some readings that's going to be coming out in the next day or so. Maybe I have a little bit of life things that are going on around me too. But also, I have the alien readings that are starseed based, X-Files and all that. You might be interested in that. Go ahead and do confetti if you like that idea. That is over at this channel. Actually, it's this channel, Cosmic Sage. And the adult readings, of course. I don't think you have a fire emoji you can do you? You could do the surprise face if you want to, or whatever that one is. But yeah, the adult readings are going to be at what used to be Ninth Door Tarot, and now it is Hidden Desires Tarot. Open, what is it? Open Secret? No, this Book of Secrets. Book of Secrets Tarot, I think is what I named the prior bunny blades. Okay, Pisces, you're going now. What do we have for what the neighbors are saying and thinking about Pisces at this time? Six of Pentacles, that you're giving to somebody. You're exchanging your energy, that there's someone that you're giving energy to, that you made a choice on that person that you're giving a lot to now. You had a lot of energy within you, and people around your neighborhood are seeing that now you've stopped dating and there's a special someone you chose. With the Two of Wands in reverse, you decided on one, not everybody or not two people. No, you don't want to date. You don't want to have two choices. You want one. You narrowed it down. Now only one car is coming around, one person showing up, and the world, the people that you share your street with, your building with, what have you, your neighbors, they know you online too. They see that you may have changed your profile to no longer single, to maybe committed or in a relationship, something like this. Can I find out for Pisces, what else do we have that their neighbors are saying and thinking at this time about them? Eight of Swords. You were caught up in your head for a little while until you made that decision. Can I find out more about the Eight of Swords? Ace of Pentacles. A lot like the energy I just recently had. You could very well have received a piece of jewelry, an offer, you've made a promise to somebody that you would choose them, that you would wear the ring, that there would be a future with this person. This is some kind of situation for the Pisces. Maybe you're growing a commitment, or you're promising that you will stay single for them and only to them, only available to them when they're ready for a ring, when they're ready to bring you one. The neighbors are seeing that you are showing that you're a single person. You're showing up like a single person, but you're spending your time with one person, acting dedicated, and maybe showing online that you are not available to others. Can I find out more for Pisces? Justice in reverse. You may have had a divorce. Can I find out more? What is the Justice in reverse for Pisces? Four of Swords. You might have been divorced and you were dating, and you're somebody that's you're happier in a relationship than out. Neighbors are maybe noticing that. So if you've been at the location very long, they may have recognized that you're a happier person in a relationship than not. Even if you're dating lots of really sweet people who would maybe spoil you, you'd rather have one person and just be one-to-one. Can I find out more? What are the people saying about Pisces that live near them, their neighbors? What are they saying about Pisces at this time? Okay, so there's evidence. Yeah, there's some kind of proof. I don't know why maybe you're dating your neighbor and your neighbor is micromanaging that you're not dating anyone else. Let me find out more on Pisces, please. Their neighbors, what are they saying and thinking? I had can't talk. I had a Pisces just now jump to the top tier. So your neighbors could be saying that you're ascending, you're advancing, you're growing. Yeah, your neighbors might be noticing, and we have number 50 here. Your neighbors might be noticing that you have an eternal love that's come through, that you finally have chosen somebody, and this is somebody you will grow old with. I see two people with gray hair here. Maybe you quit coloring your hair. Maybe you stop doing things that single people do, because now you have achieved finding somebody, Pisces, that your neighbors are noticing you're just being you. You're not doing anything to get attention. You already just being the person you are without having to enhance yourself in any way. Have the love of one person, and your neighbors are seeing this. Let me find out more for what the people that are neighbors to Pisces are saying at this time about Pisces. That you're indulging, that you are celebrating something. You have more than one neighbor talking about you at this time. They see that you're happy. Looks like you're celebrating what could be an engagement coming. Can I find out more? And this also harkens to your stability. So it could be that you're ascending and you're also dating up, seeing up, committing to up. So somebody who's doing well, somebody financial, somebody stable, who together, the two of you, when you join forces, you're rock solid. You're not concerned. The table is not made of 3 legs. It's made of 4. So you have a basis that you can count on. with this person. This person has your back. They care about you. People are talking about how maybe you almost lost your apartment, your house, your car at some point because of not coming through, maybe with a full amount of payment or something. And this person's always been there for you, and they care about you, and they're very stable, very resourceful. And they're a grown up, and you're growing up. And this person who's your neighbor is talking to one or two other neighbors or friends and saying, look, Pisces is really, they've found a good match. They found somebody who cares. They're stable. This is not somebody who doesn't care. They're just a little bit of a gossip. It's about the worst that I could say, but that's all that they might be, as a gossip. That is what I see. And I am going to pause, come back, and catch up with everyone. I'm just going to look real quick to make sure there's nothing to be concerned over. Okay, so we will reconvene in a few moments. Don't panic that it's going to be quiet. I will be back. Hey there, I'm back. Let me catch up with everybody. I hope I wasn't missed too much. I know that it's kind of a pain, but it is much easier than me having two streams. So just doing a little intermission, it's kind of, I think it's apropos for just having a little bit of a break anyway. So thank you for the comments, the thumbs up on the starseed. So we have 71. Wow. On Dharma, you all are hungry for the good things to come, aren't you? Okay, let me catch up with the comments. If anyone's been talking to me and I didn't notice, I'm so sorry. I am back. Thank you for the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for voting on the poll here too. And I'm going to go back here and see. How's everything going, Diamond? I haven't seen you in a while. And gang, it's been a while. I'm so glad I'm finally catching. It's so good to have you here. It's good to have you here too, Jeffrey. Cherry, I hope that this is early enough. I'm hoping that you'll still be awake for the time. It shouldn't take a long time to go through the next portion. So be on the ready. Have everything typed out, everybody, for your question when it's time. Okay, I didn't miss anything. So if anybody doesn't have, if nobody has anything that they really want to say, I will get on to the portion of the what is coming for you. What are the good things coming for you? You're very welcome, and I appreciate you being here. And I'm sorry I have missed you so many times, Cherry. So I'm hoping that we can get most everybody to show up, and then now and then I will do later, but it's easier for me to have early hours too. I hope Carrie's doing better. Excuse me, Carrie has, I think she has a lot more family time, but they come down with the virus, I think, down there. So hopefully she's feeling better. Okay, so Aries. What is the Dharma that is coming for Aries? Can you give me an idea what kind of good things are coming for Aries? The things that Aries has done, they've been through. They have gone through some kind of a walk through fire to get where they're going with this opening of this door that is all for the positive. This Dharma is coming their way. What is it? What is the Dharma coming for the Aries people? Okay, so you have some fun coming your way. Page of Cups energy. Something magical is about to pop off. So something you didn't even expect. What is the Page of Cups? What is this Dharma with this Page of Cups? And it could be young, time with your children, time with someone younger, heartfelt energy. You're going to get some kind of truth from somebody, some kind of truth that you've been waiting for. You're going to have a new outlook on, say, your ambition, your strength. So if you didn't feel very inspired, your ambition, you're going to get like a lot more power with your ambition. Be motivated, being strong. I'm getting, if you're a guy, virile, right? If you're a woman, your vitality is going to come back. So maybe you've been through something. It could have been that you had to walk through, say, some kind of karmic contract, and it's taken a lot out of you, Aries. And so you're going to have like a new lease on life soon. Let's see, what else do we have coming for in the karma sector for the Aries people? So the crows are now showing up for you, Aries. Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Yes, you're going to have guidance. So the crow showed up. Now, this means that if you don't already, the Dharma is saying if you don't already have like an animal attached to you in some way, some kind of a Adam. Oh, why did I get that? Atom. So it comes from the tree. Maybe a bird. maybe a bird of any kind, okay? There is a specific kind of animal, creature of the wild, right, of nature, that is supposed to work with you. And it's a guidance creature. It's sent from the beyond, right? And we're talking about from your ancestors, we're talking about the divine. This is a messenger. It doesn't have to be a bird. It could be any creature. This could be a forest creature, but it is going to come to you. Part of the Dharma is you're going to have a recognition, and it could be such as what, I don't know if you have this in your chart or not, 𝗁𝗂𝗏𝗄, the Aries energy, but like she had kitty cats coming to her. So you could have somebody dispatch you via dream or in the real. So excuse me, Aries, you might have, say, a visitor show up or go past your car, or all of a sudden you have a dream that keeps on repeating, and say you have a reindeer in your dream, or I'm just using it as an example, but any kind of animal may want to work with you and have messages from your ancestors. So this is part of your this is part of your Dharma. The door may have been shut to this particular avenue because you were tied up in red tape of earth, which is like karma work. You're released from some kind of a tower that you were in. So if you're still in the throes of the shambles, things are going to start pulling away. You're going to start seeing aha moments out of the release. So you're going to start seeing, oh, that's why it happened. That's why I wasn't meant to be in that relationship, that job, why I was spit out, like I was chewed up and spit out. That's why I had to go through that much grief, because you're going to realize it wasn't for you, and the right path is now going to be guided and directed for you by, say, maybe an animal spirit. Could be that it's literally a crossed over spirit, depending on if you have mediumship abilities, but there is some kind of a animal, whether it be winged or furred or maybe even finned, there's some kind of creature that wants to talk to you. So you're going to be more open and receptive, and whatever destruction you went through, you're going to see the clear message as to why that happened, because I think you're going to be maybe a guidance for others. So we'll see what else you have for Dharma for Aries. What is the Dharma that is coming in for Aries? Is there more that I can share with Aries, please? Okay, so octopuses could mean something to you. They're a very, very genius creature. They're alien-like too, mind you. So a starfish and an octopus. Now, Aries, I don't know, this is kind of random, but it could be that it's one of these creatures, but you're going to have your hands in so many different areas. Yeah, you're coming in for a change that's going to diversify you. You're going to possibly find out you're more brilliant than you realized. And if you do prescribe to star seeds and or the woo-woo X-Files kind of stuff, you might take off with some of the things that I read here and or you find elsewhere, and you might start delving into topics you had no idea how well you were connected to a particular, say, star entity group, or there's something about you that's very different than you thought. You're more exotic, you're more brilliant mentally than you thought. There's something about you that I think your wisdom is going to grow. Can I find out more when it comes to Aries and their Dharma coming for them? Two of Pentacles. Your third eye is going to be popping open. So if you aren't already very, very how do I say that? If you don't have your third eye working, your pineal gland, it is going to start opening, but it could sharpen. If you already have it, it could sharpen. So it could get better. You're going to balance between the 3 and the 5D. So if you are in a connection that, say, you're trying to balance out between the 5 and the 3D, you're going to get better. So this could be that you have a divine union coming in, or you are in one. You're going to be able to discern between the two layers and make them overlap a whole lot better. So this is alchemical kind of energy I'm feeling. Aries, I think that you might not even know who your person is right now, and it might not be something you thought of. So everyone is different, but if it's somebody you're already with, the pieces are coming together much sharper, clearer, vibrant. You're seeing things a whole new way. Can I find out more for Aries, the Dharma that is coming for them? Also, you might have a couple offers coming your way. So in the tangible, couple jobs, couple opportunities to make money. So there could be somebody saying, I want to gift you this. Somebody could say, I want to give you an increase in your pay. There is a chance that you're going to have to balance out. You'll have more maybe than you started with. You have Sagittarius energy here. The snake is here for healing. You're healing, but the wheel is turning and destiny is taking command. You could have an ex that's going to see that you've already healed and there's no coming back. The X marks the spot. It's like you're kind of like, it's recognized that the door is shut. There's no way. Their chance with you has been expired some time ago, because the snake, it loses its skin and it regenerates. And you at this point are not the same being you were when this X was in your world. And the Dharma is saying that now you have entered a realm, or you're about to, that you're on your quest, you're on your mission, you're about to cross over into your destiny, into your north node. You may have already been in there. So if you are learning how to read, or you already know how to read, your skills are going to become more sharp. High Priestess here, your intuition's going to get, it's going to get more strong. Secrets are going to come to you. You're going to be like, oh, okay, now I understand that. Thank you. So I think that this is going to be like your guidance team, and or these animals, or the animal that is going to present itself to you. The secrets are going to fall into your lap. There's going to be things that are going to be very, it's going to be very mysterious how things are going to happen at first. If you have a crossover, this is just for one or two of you. If you have a crossover loved one, I think they're going to be also a voice that you may hear, an inner voice, to impart the wisdom that they left meant for you when you open that door and you're ready. So they are going to try to give you some knowledge they had. Could be ancestral. It could be that if you do prescribe to star seeds, that they know things about this and they are part of that line. That is what I'm seeing. But let's see if there's any more 3D Dharma coming for the Aries. Any more 3D base Dharma coming for the Aries. So if you are a mother, your relationship, Aries, with your children is going to become more, it's going to grow. It's going to grow, and I feel like it's going to be illuminated. Can I find out more? The Chariot. Yeah, you have double Cancer here with the Moon and the Chariot. So what it is that you're pursuing in life at this time, whether it's career or love or a new home or something like this, you're going to be finding major success coming in fast. Now, if you want to be a mother or have a mother to your children, have your babies, I think that bringing new life into your story is coming. And it's coming soon. This is a Dharma situation for Aries. That is what I'm seeing. So go ahead, and if that was okay for you, Aries, if any Aries is here, please do like the confetti or something. But yeah, after any of these Dharmas, if they bode with you, okay, then we will, if you have a specific, you can ask me. And you can ask 2 questions tonight if you'd like to for the subscribers. So we are going to do Taurus. For Taurus, what is the good Dharma coming for Taurus at this time, for the things that they have done to walk through the lessons and cut through the BS to get to this point, right? Those, literally, the BS, right? Taurus has had enough of. They want the good. What is the Dharma coming for Taurus for being good and doing good? What is the Dharma at this time for the Taurans? Okay, so you are at a point where you get to choose. So harmony, union, and love, the lovers, a Gemini, possibly, but you get to make a choice. So I'm not getting like a choice between 2. I think you're going to choose between single life and union, and I think you want union, and it's going to be at your, I think it's going to be at your command. It looks like it. And this is not just a typical card on this deck. Um, it gives the illusion of maybe a child coming, like the way there's an outline. It's like two people and they're holding each other in a beautiful embrace. And there's flowers all around, like they've planted the garden and they're waiting to say, yes, we're pregnant. And so this is like in hopes that there'll be a third into the family, that they're combining together and they're combining their energy and their essence so you